So hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a different style of video. This is heavily inspired by Theme Park Worldwide, and again, like Sean, I want to keep it as interactable as possible. So that means you guys are going to be naming the theme park and what rides I should add next and what to name them. All that lovely stuff that I will get into later. But before I talk about what's going on screen right now, just want to let you know that my Discord server is live and it means the world if you guys can join. I'm also holding a contest or a competition, whatever you want to call it, and 5 lucky winners will get to play with me and the other players as well to create one big theme park, and it's just going to be awesome. To enter, all you need to do is just go away, phone. All you need to do is just comment down below plan code 2, and of course you need to be subscribed. So as you can see, I've started building the foundations for the entrance to the park, and I wanted to kind of go for more of like it's Viking themed. And I originally didn't have any experience with the Viking theme, so this was kind of new to me. And I also want to talk about the stations here. They felt really, when I was putting in the, what do you call them, the entrance and exit, it felt really like sluggish and really bulky and just not really, usable. And I'm pretty sure I do change this sort of like entrance portal and an exit portal. And it was just, I'm not a huge fan of the stations. It's something that we've all asked for and is sort of being changed in the updates, where they were saying that there is opportunity for an offload and onload station, but not really anything to do with the entrances and exits, which is kind of annoying. But that's okay. Hopefully they listen out for us. As you can see now, it kind of does look like Minecraft, where I just put cobblestone and then like some spruce planks. I promise that it gets a lot better from here. You just need to trust the process. I also want to mention these like 2-meter long walls. They come in clutch so much, and I love how Frontier have changed like the textures so they don't kind of like fade in and out of each other, because I remember in Planco 1, if you try to do that, it's really obvious that there's 2 separate walls there. But I love how they've changed that in the game for Plan Code 2. But I want to know what you guys think of Plan Code 2. Are you enjoying it? Is it going well for you? Or have you run into problems like me? Yeah, you probably have. It's it's to be expected. It's a new game. But you should give the developers some time and some patience, and hopefully we can get all the bugs and errors sorted. But yeah, here you go. This is what I was talking about. I changed the that 4-meter wall to the 2-meter wall just so it's more like visually pleasing, and like my OCD as well was like really bugging me. Something that I hope that gets picked up from other players is that like the station customability. What kind of word is that? Customization. What am I talking about? Yeah, I really hope it gets looked at. And here I start designing the roof. I really wasn't sure what to do with the roof, since this was again my first time using the Vikings themed, so trying to find like inspiration in my head was quite hard, because sure, there's quite a few Viking themed areas in the UK. There's not many in the south of the UK, if not none at all. Correct me if I'm mistaken. But yeah, so it was quite hard to trying to think of what it would be like back then, and I tried to use my head as much as possible instead of like looking it up on Google, because I want this park to be 100% raw and 100% from my own creative work. Speaking of, I found these, I don't really know what you call them, I guess like roof trims. but instead I've put them inside the wall instead, not on the roof. And I think they stayed in the end. They looked quite cool. I liked how the design. It's hard when you're creating something in Planet Coaster and try to branch off it, because you are still like limited to how much you do, but there is a lot of creativity, and it's hard sometimes to find that creative aspect. Which is a lot of people. I get a lot of people ask me, "Oh, how do you do this? It's so nicely well themed." But when I look at it, it's like, well, it's rubbish. That's purely because, obviously, I'm just a bit harsh on myself. But I found these pillars. These are quite nice. I had the nice idea of creating like almost like borders for the building, because I feel like if I create more depth of field, so there's more things coming out, it will pop a bit more and it'll look a lot nicer. This idea was almost there. It just didn't. I don't know. It didn't really fit. I spent quite a few minutes trying to figure out how to line this all up properly. Mainly due to because in the scale mode, it's not like you have numbers where you can scale it to a number. It's just dragging it, so it's not consistent. So as you can see here, I'm trying to figure out what's the best pattern I can have without it looking just absurd. And looking back at it now, it kind of doesn't look that good as I hoped it would. It does not. Yeah, it doesn't really go in any colours whatsoever. But I thought I figured it out by doing this. But I got to the end here, and as you can see, it doesn't work. So in the end, I scrapped it, and I went for this instead, which was a lot nicer, a little bit more subtle, still with a pattern, just on the trimming the bottom bit of the second level. And I haven't seen like many other creators use the Viking just because I don't want to see it and I want to surprise myself. So when I was looking through like what are the options for like windows and stuff like this, I wasn't happy with it in the end. I do change it, but I'm quite pleased with these types of windows. Just there was not a lot of custom or creative or a variety of like windows, if that makes sense. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I noticed when I was in my own like sandbox mode, when I was like testing everything out and I built this station for a roller coaster, I noticed that they've got rid of the glass panes that you used to have in Planco 1. So when I was doing the op booth, it obviously I couldn't have it as a realistic one because there was no glass. So I had to get this like non-transparent one, which in the end works, but it's not ideal. So anyway, getting back to this, so I added in a couple windows. I found these really nice triangle, like, again, ceiling trims. I'm not really sure, but they're mainly meant to go on top of your roof. But I thought having it on the side like this would be like, I don't know, it just adds a lot of personality. I don't know, just waffling. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I changed the windows out to, and they also had a single one like that. So I thought, because obviously you don't have glass panes, I thought it'd be a great idea if I put it in that like window frame itself there, like that, just create something to look at. Because obviously when you look inside of it, it's just a wooden wall, and that's obviously not the best thing to look at whatsoever. And as you can see, it's coming along nicely. And again, just with the windows, I love my windows. I thought that black hole thing there could be cool, but it didn't really fit or anything. Again, with the windows, there's just not much you can do with it, unfortunately. It's just, yeah. So I moved on after getting a bit frustrated that, you know, you can't have many customization with it. I moved on, I added those pillars in, just because it looked a bit, like, silly, just having the one bit of pillar, because it wasn't really working with everything else. It kind of just stood out like a sore thumb. So that's why I put a pillar on top and these like side wall pieces ones. And then just like messing about with again with the scenery, I found that white, I don't know, again, wall trim. I really don't know where I found these stuff. But I feel like it complements the like cobblestone aspect underneath. I think it works really well actually. And then as you can, and as you can see, changing the design of like, what would you say, like the loft rooms. Say if this was like a pub and it has an inn, for my non-English viewers, basically pubs in the UK, they can have like basically a B&B above the pub. Yeah. Anyway, enough rambling on. It looks really cool in the end. I much preferred that because it had a lot more personality, a lot more detail towards it. And then that netting just added a little bit more texture, a more creative, like ideas flowing. It had like the cogs in my brain were all going. It just made the walls look a lot less plain, since there wasn't much you could do with like wall theming pieces, except for these cobblestone like almost like fences in a way. They came in clutch so much. They look so nice. They look so good. And then I had a wonderful idea of putting this in the wall to create more texture and more like depth of field. And and my OCD just completely switched to something else. I found that and I went, I know where to put it. So I completely forgot about it until then. So that was like 5 minutes and I remembered I need to do this. And it's looking a lot better already. And at this point, I had to ask Discord, the Discord server, again. Join it if you haven't already. It's so much fun in there. There's so much stuff. I don't want to spoil it. So before I just go on to continue what I was saying, this pathing tool is amazing. So as you can see, I'm using the draw tool to outline the inside of the building, and boom, instantly you've got a nice symmetrical path. And now, this is what I was talking about. So, the entrance path, not the entrance path, the entrances, it's so like, as you can see there, the texture, the different, God, I can't speak. It's a different texture. And I really struggled to figure out why it's like that. But I did figure it out in the end. As you can see here, there you go. I can't really explain it. I kind of just did it. I think I clicked, what's the tool? Copy existing, and then went onto the paint tool, and then painted over it. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. That's very complicated, and it's not obvious as well. I had to ask my Discord, and they didn't know either. So I kind of figured it out, and if anyone doesn't know how to do it, I hope that helped. Just again, experimenting with the line draw tool. Sorry, it works really well. I love how they've done it. The draw tool is an amazing feature in this game. Frontier should be really pleased about that because I'm so happy. And another feature in the facilities tab, you've got these desks now. We never had those before. They're amazing. So it's almost like you can place them wherever you want, and then you can build around it. So instead of having the preset buildings as you will see later on, you can create this building and put all those theming pieces without it having this sponsor brand, like the Cosmic Cow milkshakes. That's not everywhere, so it's mainly because you can, it just adds in a lot more creativity in your parks, and I think that's a great thing that Frontier have picked up from. As you can see, you can theme inside of it, whereas before it was quite hard because it was already branded, so sort of like an IP at a real theme park. This is what I was talking about. So you've got this preset build already done. So it's a building, obviously. There you go. As you can open it up, you can see that the like McDonald's or something. If you go to a theme park and you've got a KFC, that's obviously going to be themed to KFC because it's like an IP. Anyway, these minor details are so good in this game, and I really like it. And these doors, that's what they're called. They're not actually a door, but they're door walls, and they're really cool. They way better than the original game. There's a lot more creativity again, which I think Frontier have nailed once again. Just adding in some more wall trims, but I'm using it as a lovely theming piece. And obviously, your boys got to make it symmetrical. And then, what did I do here? Let's see. Yeah, I tried adding some flags, but they didn't really like kind of go very well, and they'd like phase in and out of the wall, unfortunately, because they're not static. They are constantly waving, which is good by all means. But when you try and put one on a wall, it's kind of bad because it can go through the wall. But yeah, so adding in some bins. Really nicely themed bins, actually. And I realised I messed up with this wall. I don't know how I missed that before, but I did. And here I was kind of envisioning what I want to see when you walk out of the park, because, you know, all theme parks have skylines, such as Thor Park. You've got your, when you come out of the dome, you've got the skyline, you can see straight in front of you. You've got Inferno, Stealth, and then like the main obvious one is Swarm. And then you see Amity Beach. Same with Awesome Towers. As soon as you walk in, you've got Tower Street, and then right in the back you've got the towers itself, which is what I sort of wanted to do. I wanted that magical feeling when you walk in this park. You see something like really cool and big. I don't know. I just kind of wanted that feeling, so that's why I raised the terrain, and I started to like idea in my head like, oh, what can I put on there? Which I'm not going to cover today's video. I'm going to cover that in the next video. Some other things as well. But here again, I was messing around with the drawing tool. Sometimes it's not the best. Sometimes using another different like type of tool will be best. But it still works by all means. And then just experimenting with the what's it called? The paintbrush, the scenery brush. Sorry, I don't really use it that much. I remember my first build, I was still like manually placing each rock where I didn't know you could just paint it, and it was such a lifesaver. But moving on, I wanted the front of the park to be less bare because to be honest, it's just a bit of green land, which is good by all means, but it's not. You know, there's nothing to look at, which is a shame. So I decided to take in some ideas. I was thinking and brainstorming of what I could put in, and I was just looking at the nature scenery. They've got this nice grass walls that fit really nicely, and I don't know how Frontier have done it, but they blend into each other. So it doesn't look the same. So obviously when you have a texture that is copied throughout, such as the grass, like the plain grass you can see, you have only one single texture, and you basically copy that throughout, and you know, to make grass and stuff or whatever. I'm no programmer or game designer or anything. I'm just going off what I think I know. And they've done it really well to, you know, obviously point out that it doesn't look all the same, because I remember in Planco 1 that it is easily and obviously you can see that the grass is just one texture copied and pasted, but with this it's like all completely different. And I added these like cute little Viking guys in. I'm really open to suggestions. There's 3 of them. There's one, no, actually there's 4 of them in the end. One's on top of the big guy's head, obviously the big guy, and then that hammerhead shark type. Fully open to taking names. That'd be great. And again, coming in clutch with these cobblestone slab wall things. Honestly, they are amazing. They fit so well in the game. And again, like the textures blend so well. So it doesn't look like it's copied and pasted. Which is, I can't like wrap my head around. And then, yeah, it was coming along nicely. I was just seeing some other theming pieces I could add. And I thought, no, that's it. That's all I need to do for this bit. And then I literally remembered. So this is coming up to like 1 hour and it's like 50 minutes of playtime at this stage in time. And I remembered I forgot to do the other side of this building. So as unfortunately it's torrential raining, I was going around manually selecting each part that I want on the other side. As you can see, I did, which is a great feature for this game because I think, if I remember correctly, you could only like choose up to a certain amount of scenery items you can actually copy and paste. But now I assume it's infinite. The amount of stuff. One thing I want to talk about is the rain. I don't know, but if someone does know, please tell me because it would be brilliant. But is there a way to turn off the rain or to skip it, let's say? Of course, the rain is an amazing feature and it's like groundbreaking for this game. But when like I'm building, it's quite annoying because it slows down my game quite a lot. But not like a bad amount where it's obviously noticeable. It's just like a little bit. The frame rate drops and it takes a lot longer to load things. But I'd have it on, like I'd have it on when the park is fully open and doing like a franchise maybe. But if anyone knows how to turn the rain off, or maybe just like have it only like shower instead of these thunderstorms that I keep getting, then that would be great. Thank you very much. Here I'm just playing around with the, what's it called, the queue line path. I wanted it to match the asphalt path I've added in there, and I sort of achieved that. Later on, that queue line does get changed because it's not the best queue line. I think I put it in there just for time being, so I kind of knew what I was doing. And I like this idea that the exit to the train comes out onto the main plaza, or maybe it's not main plaza, but the entrance plaza, let's say. And now this is where I decided to add 2 new rides. One is a nebula, so this will be Viking themed as well. So get your comments down below of what you want me to name that. And then this magic carpet. That's a weird bug issue there, where it just floated in the air. And again, name for that as well, and the name for the train ride that I start to build. As you can see now, I put those rides in as a placeholder, just so I know where I want to put it. The rides will be in the next video, and maybe if I have time and if I get it all complete, we could potentially start building a roller coaster. I know, that's nuts. So let me know what roller coaster model you want me to build. Obviously themed to Vikings, and it has to fit Vikings. So, I'm really open for suggestions. I want this to be as interactable as possible. So that would be brilliant if you guys can let me know. And I hope this video does well, because it's a different style of video, so I hope you guys like it. If you got any feedback for me, that'd be brilliant, because it's quite difficult me rambling on, because I'm not really sure what to say. But there you go, there's my new queue line, and also with the drawing tool, look at this. Oh, look how nice and smoothly that connects. Well, apart from this bit doesn't smoothly connect whatsoever. But I like how you're able to add the main path with a queue path and have it not like, the guests not get confused on what's what. That's really good, and that could potentially mean you could have a plaza and a queue line on the same thing. So it's the finishing touches. So I just added in supports, and this is the end of the video. So if you guys did enjoy, please let me know down in the comments. This was really fun to do, and if you want to see what it looks like when I build a 1 minute versus a 10 minute versus 1 hour coaster, click this video right here. I promise you'll enjoy it. Go on, click it. You know you want to. Come on, just do it, man. Discord is in the description.